Trick or treat! Everyone says that this is a monster match election. Nobody is happy with the choices at the ballot. Crazy Trump, corrupt Hillary, and that's just at the national level. Right here at home, it's really spooky too. There's a Republican who the Washington Post says is at his first try at politics, who has lied about his former nomination rival, claiming he never served in the military and stood up a blog site to spread the lie. He lied about his own record of achievement and told a congresswoman that he worked for George Bush. And he pretended to be the friend of conservatives, friend of homosexuals, friend of Muslims, friend of veterans, and friend of Hispanics. But everybody sees right through the veneer of his shiny blue suit. So many voters in this district are terrified and pinning their hopes on their favorite son, Donald S. Beyer Jr., and signing up to be his friend in November. But friend for Don Beyer is Beyer a friend for you? But with any car salesman, don't they always say, buyer beware? Boo! Dr. Frankenstein Don Beyer has a ghoulish net worth of over $48 million. But he has contributed less than the maximum donation that you could give to his own campaign. He wants you to pay for his political ambition. And you will, my friend. You will. It's fright time in the metro area. So Beyer, beware. Last winter, Dr. Frankenstein Don Beyer sent an email to you and to me, telling us that he needed our help and had passed critical legislation. Critical legislation, he said. But then the Alexandria Connection checked the facts and discovered that he had only passed 2.5 bills that he admitted were not high-profile legislation. And after he came under attack for his lackluster performance, he sent out a direct mail piece trying to explain to you and me why an amendment on towing was critical legislation. With all of the scary things we face each day, is towing in the top 10 critical conditions? And if it is, why just an amendment? I'm not buying it. Are you? It's fright time in the metro area. So Beyer, beware.
You know, every day I brag about what a wonderful congressional district I represent. We are special in so many ways, but especially because there are so many famous people who can trace their roots to the 8th District of Virginia. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Sandra Bullock. And I'd like to say, congratulations, Sandra. People magazine just named you today the most beautiful person in America. And I heartily agree with that. I loved while you were sleeping, speed, miscongeniality, and gravity, and so many great Sandra Bullock movies, and we are proud to claim you. Now, the most beautiful woman in America, Emma Stone may say, well, that's important, or that's what matters. But Sandra Bullock, thanks for saying, that's ridiculous.
And Dr. Frankenstein Don Beyer is not even going to work, missing 4% of his roll call votes. making him a truly absent-minded professor. Living just across the river from the nation's capital, he should have the perfect attendance award, not a spelling bee championship. He told C-SPAN that he rises early every morning to run around the district, but he did not even run in his own sponsored 3-kilometer race on Memorial Day. Maybe Sleeping Beauty overslept that day. Last Veterans Day, where you can fall out of bed and into some commemoration ceremony, Don Beyer was selling cars at the crack of dawn in Falls Church, but Don Beyer, Jr. was not even out of bed at 11 a.m. when that town honored veterans. In fact, Don did not wake up until near midnight when he sent an email telling you and me that he forgot about the day, but wished our vets a happy holiday.
I'm very spoiled. Depending on when the votes are, pretty much every night we'll be out of here and then back into the district to do something. Town hall meeting, a civic association, just lots and lots of, connections.
Yet Don Beyer says that every day after his legislative work is over, he rushes home to the district to be with you and me. Then why have you only seen him at events like parades to which he is invited, but he entirely blows off everything else, like the installation ceremony for the Alexandria City Council and the Martin Luther King Day observances? But if you think that is scary, why did Don Beyer never explain why he removed the advertisement for an event potentially offensive to Hispanics in our community without a statement or apology? It's fright time in the metro area, so Beyer, beware. Dr. Frankenstein Don Beyer issued a press release stating that infanticide advocate Peter Singer was his hero. Not Margaret Sanger, Peter Singer. Even if you can condone abortion, infanticide is very extreme. Hide the children! Don Beyer calls himself a champion for global climate change. But did anyone notice that he sells cars? The largest contributor to greenhouse gas emissions. Hide the trees! In support of climate change, Don Beyer even told a reporter that 7,000 Americans had died, which was not true. Hide the facts! And in support of abortion, he told supporters that he was with them at the Supreme Court in June, posting a picture as proof. But how many people do you know that wear overcoats in June? Hide the coats! Stop the sham! It's fright time in the metro area, so Beyer, beware. But the press says that Dr. Frankenstein Don Beyer will get 70% of us to vote for him. And the Republicans are claiming that the Democratic leaders will cheat to make sure that it is not wholly unbelievable that the car dealer who called himself the no-low contender raid killer and the ambassador who told the Swiss on several occasions that his embassy was not an embassy but the dealership might do just as the worst are saying. But Halloween is a busy season, and we should at least let the dead rest in peace. In a monster-mass election year, yes, Virginia, take heart, there is a sanity clause. Don't wait the game. Vote for Mike.
Politicians will say anything. Major in the majors. Let's make Americans great again. I am Major Mike Webb, and I am running for U.S. Congress. Honest.
This advertisement was authorized by Mike Webb.